Tupac, when is enough? And we keep saying, it's the Jews, it's the police, it's the white man, it's everybody but us. When do we hold a mirror up at us, turn around at us, and deal with us? When do we point and say, no, he did that? Miss Mary, tell him turn himself in. When? When do we create a coalition of black men or black people to right the wrongs in our communities, to create a voice? Where do we start? I get more opposition, man. I get more opposition for what I say, not what I do. I'm in a high school every other week. I'm in a court with a mother every other day, seems like. I'm working on a new murder case with a mom every other day, seems like. But when is enough is enough? When do we all say, okay, man, Black lives matter to us, but we only talking to us with it? When we done turned our back on white people, we just looking at each other saying this stuff and ready to fight about it like we do it when we stand against the police. Until we take that approach, man, we just talking. So that's why my approach is so bold, man. He might die, so I was ready to die for the game. I was ready to die distributing drugs. I was ready to die cussing out the police on sides of the road for a speed ticket. Why can't we ready to die for him and his future? But why do we gotta die for it? Why do death has to be lingering over our head for just wanting to do right? No other community is threatened for that. So I'm saying, at this point in history, as black Americans who have all the freedom in the world that our ancestors didn't have, but we complain as if we went through what our ancestors went through. We bring up and reference slavery as if it has a direct effect on us and ignore what has a direct effect on us today, black on black crime. How can slavery affect us, something we didn't even see 400 years ago? How can we associate that to have an effect on us, but ignore what's affecting us today? As if this don't have a greater effect than slavery. This has a greater effect than slavery. So we blaming the conditions of slavery and what our ancestors went through that we didn't see and have no understanding of. How can we ignore this today? That's what I don't get.
Would you agree that political policies are very subtle? President Nixon was the president who signed over war on drugs. We learned later that it wasn't war on drugs. It was an attempt to destroy certain groups that he felt and that the nation felt was adversarial to their policies. So it wasn't about stopping drugs. We can see that. In fact, under Ronald Reagan, we had crack cocaine to permeate all our community across the country. And after that, we have illegal guns flooding the community. That's subtle policies. Now, you are right in much of what you're saying. You're right. But we cannot turn our heads to the subtle influence of political policy, including Mr. Brian Kemp here in Georgia.
So I say it is right. That's their policy. That's not ours. That's their war on drugs. Where's our counterattack?
Right.
As black people, okay, they got a war on drugs. What's our counter?
Right.
When do we start to counter? Because they don't get to fix us.
Right.
That's their war on drugs. When do we start a war on drugs?
I agree with you there.
So that's how we fight that. So Nixon policies, man, these kids don't know nothing about Nixon policies. If you bring dope to my doorstep and I come out there and see a pound of dope, who put this dope right here? I don't reach down there and say, who put this dope here? Just because they brought it, that don't mean I got to touch it. Just because they bring guns here, don't mean who guns are these? Okay, we go just pick them up and start shooting each other. Who's putting this in our mind to pick the guns up and start shooting each other? As if they got who's remote controlling us? That everything they bring to us, it works. Well, they brought that to our ancestors, it didn't work. How did our ancestors beat them? How did our ancestors build Black Wall Street under the conditions that they had in the 1900s? Why we can't beat them? We got more knowledge, we got more information, more money. Why we can't beat them? Why are we the weaker black race, the weaker black species of today, that we fall for everything they put on us? They doing the same thing to the Mexicans. Why the Mexicans ain't falling? They doing the same thing to the Arabs. If they are doing this, why are we the only ones falling prey to what they doing? When do we get smart? When do we get smart? Are we that dumb that everything they do work on us? I refuse to believe that. I refuse that there's a white supremacy that's bigger than God. My mother said God has no respect of person. How white people bigger than God? I refuse to believe that. We gave up on us. We gave up on us. Dr. King said, let's go join, and we went and joined, and we stopped coming back. Power to the people. America has always been about the people, not about the politicians or the government. This is why it works. Our low voter turnout, if we go be real. We got the lowest voter turnout of everybody. Not only do we have the lower voter turnout, we don't know how to pad no pockets. We don't know how to send no contribution down there to the governor, to Nixon. We don't know how to play lobby. We all talk. We all talk in emotions. We don't never got solutions. We can point out the problem and we come with the best points, but man, we ain't got no solutions for us. We want them to come up with the solutions. Okay, I war on drugs here. If you sell drugs in this neighborhood, you get taxed. So now we tell the police you sell drugs. We got to come up with that. If one of your drug dealers kills somebody, guess what? We coming to get him. We got to have our own war too. Because they policies are just that, policies. America got us out of slavery. They gave us civil rights. What more do black people want? They got us out of slavery. They gave us rights. What more do we want at this point? What more do we want them to give us?
I'm trying to get my thought together, but I got a question for you. I want to know if you agree with this. That there are some civil rights groups that perpetuate slavery in order to keep us with. You see if I can correct that or say it in a better way. I want to know if you agree or disagree, because this is what I believe. That there are some civil rights groups that are in existence today, and the only way that they can stay in existence is by making us victims.
Well,
and constantly perpetuating the victim narrative like slavery.
Well, who are they perpetuating to? Because the youth ain't hearing it. The youth are hearing the rappers and the gangsters. Who's perpetuating more destruction, slavery than the rappers and the Crips and the Bloods? Your street organization. Your civil rights organization lost the voice when Dr. King died. They are obsolete now. Civil rights, man, that don't even ring in our ears. We don't even want civil rights. Not this generation. We don't even want rights. So the voice of the civil rights is so far gone because we've been saying, hey, we want some, let's see. I ain't got no manners for no slut. I'm gonna put my thumb in her butt. Man, we don't even hear civil rights no more. Now we waiting for you to die so we can say we gonna smoke you. So where does civil rights fall in the play of this when our culture from we had Snoop Dogg, a 50-year-old Crip, standing on stage before the world at the Super Bowl throwing up Crip signs. And we clapped for it. So, man, we can't even thank civil rights. We can't even thank civil rights when our leaders are Snoop Dogg are our civil rights leaders. Jay-Z, they're our civil rights leaders. They're not talking civil rights no more. Man, we don't even care about civil rights. This generation don't. So we fought so hard for civil rights. Man, we trying to do away with them now. Because our gun laws, our gun statistics, black on black gun violence, and it's doing away with civil rights. We're going to turn on each other. We're going to turn on each other. We're going to vote us back into slavery. Black people are going to vote one another back into slavery, if not volunteer. It's a scary future for this kid. When you look at what we're doing today and what we're choosing to ignore, civil rights, lack of or thereof, at this point, is the least of our problems. Having civil rights is the least of our problems in our communities. When I don't even have the right to call the police if you break into my house, brother. Before I even get to the white man rights, I got these niggas putting rights on me, saying what I can and can't do. I got to check in. I'm trying to follow law, and they saying I got to follow this. He give me civil rights, but I live in this community where they got rules I got to follow. I can't worry about what they trying to give me when they put some new oppression on me. That's what we're here for, right? Guns, gangsters. It's the new Jim Crow. We got a new Jim Crow, brother. I got to check in. If I want to come to your town and wear jewelry and do a little gambling, I might get robbed. And if I get robbed, my civil rights that they give me don't mean nothing to these people, because these people say no snitching. You better not call him. You better not call and tell them nothing. We're going to shoot your mama house up. Your kids can't go to school over here. We're going to shame you online. We're going to put your address on. No, we're going to oppress you. The black man is the new Klansman. And he's proud of it. He's proud of it. And our civil rights leaders are sitting back allowing this to happen. Because it's a faith-based initiative now. The church and state is now in bed together. So our civil rights leaders who once was opposed, they are now in bed together by way of a 501c3. Tax exemption. Tax exemption. So we can't rely on them no more. Charity starts in the home. In the mirror, then look out into the home, then you step on your porch, hey neighbor, that's where it started, that's the coalition. On your street, in your community, at the school, your city council member, whoever's over this district, this is where it starts at the bottom, not up there at the top with policies, because I can create something down here that can shape the policies up top. They can't do nothing up top that does anything at this very bottom. The president can't stop me from having to check in when I come here, and they gonna make me check in. But y'all can't.
My final question to you, Will, is what is the solution? And the other thing I want to say is that white people never gave black folks anything. Medgar Evers was shot in the driveway. Dr. King was shot in Memphis. There was 200,000 black men fought in the Civil War. Everything we have in this country, black people fought and bled and died for. Nobody should ever forget that.
We didn't fight for civil rights. We marched for them. That wasn't fighting. No, hold on. No, we marched for civil rights. We didn't fight.
They bombed the freedom.
They bombed, but we didn't bomb back.
Well,
No, hold on. A fight is you hit me, I hit back. If they bomb, now just because they bombed you and you became a victim, you didn't fight, you died.
we're talking philosophy now. When you resist, in any form you resist, then you fight. That's philosophy.
Well, no race of people have ever gotten their freedom resisting. They got their freedom from spilling blood.
Tell us the Gandhi and the Indian.
No race of people have ever gotten their freedom from just resisting.
Tell us the Gandhi and the
Well, they still ain't got theirs.
Well, they kicked the British out.
They still ain't got it, but they still under control, brother. But let me just say this. Y'all didn't fight for nothing. The slaves didn't fight for nothing. That Civil War they fought in, that wasn't their war.
Nat Turner burned Holland.
Nat Turner didn't do nothing. Nat Turner was a coward. Nat Turner was a coward. Nat Turner killed one white girl. Willis was the man. If you really want to know, Willis was the man. Willis raped and killed.
What did they do in Haiti?
Man, Haiti, the poorest country. Man, listen, I don't even want to talk to no old nigga like you. This is why the young, I hate old men like him that's telling me about the future. Who fighting now, though?
Me.
You ain't fighting now. You ain't died yet. You ain't killed nobody for this.
I ain't trying to die.
Man, quit talking to me.
I ain't trying to
They dying. They dying. They dying and killing, man. Listen, please, brother. I'm here for the youth. I'm not here to talk to no old gray hairs. Because y'all just be talking. Where was y'all at when the 7-year-old died at that mall in Lenox Mall? A 7-year-old killed with her father at Christmas time. Go fight. Fight the rappers. This is a gang-banging town. Let's kill a gang-banger then if you go fight. The white man, listen, I'm 45 years old. I ain't never seen a black man hung from a tree. So don't tell me about nothing I ain't seen. I only care about what I done seen. They died. I don't care about what they done to y'all. I wasn't here. I don't care, man. Man, listen, brother. I'm looking to the future. I don't care what happened back in slavery. I don't care what happened to slaves. I don't care what happened to my grandmama and them. I wasn't here. He don't care. We don't care. What happened? I don't give a fuck about Dr. King. He was a whoremonger. What Medgar Evers' death don't mean nothing to me. Tupac death mean way more. That's my leader. Snoop Dogg is our leader. You telling me about things we don't even care about. No youth care about Medgar Evers, brother. They care about King Von. Y'all in here bringing up stuff that these babies take. They don't even resonate with me. Medgar Evers don't even resonate with me, and I studied him. Come on, bro, no. As black people in this country, we ain't never fought for nothing. Everything's been given to us. From slavery, the slaves didn't fight to get out of slavery. The Civil War wasn't about no slaves. It was about states' rights. It had nothing to do with slavery. You think white people go destroy their country and one another for slaves? They have nothing to do with slavery, bro. It had something to do with the government trying to tell states what to do. No, friend, man, listen. Black history don't empower me for black future. What black people had to go through don't mean nothing to me today or tomorrow. What I done seen in these 45 years mean way more to me than what my grandmother and them had to do. Most of us don't even like our grandparents. They was on drugs. You must forgot about the heroin epidemic, didn't you? My grandmother was on heroin for over 40 years. She was born in the 30s. There's a big disconnect from my generation to the old generation. Why do you think we don't visit our grandparents? Why do you think we don't go to the family reunions? We don't sit at the feet of our elders. You know why? Because our elders never spoke to us. We can't relate. They're not trying to relate to us. You know why? Because they still looking back there, talking about some Nixon policies. Obama policies affect us way more than what Nixon's did. I can't look past today because you stuck on yesterday. These babies want to know about 2030. And you know why our ears is closed to the black elders? Because they talking about they day. They day ain't got nothing to do with today. Y'all didn't have the internet.
But actually, what's the solution?
The solution, quit talking to the old. Quit talking to the old like you and come down here and talk to these babies. Because this is the solution right here. The little man right here. This little boy right here. He needs to know about 2030. He don't need to know about Nixon. Nothing about Nixon prepares him for tomorrow. The solution is the elementary schools. The solution is the communities. Forget the leaders, the babies. They need instructions. They need directions. They need resources. They need alternatives. Man, they need a hug. I just said and told you I ain't never had a hug from a man. Nixon can't fix this, what's inside of me. He can't fix the pain of this community, no policy. Charity starts in the home. So I'm saying, man, let's restore our homes. It ain't got nothing to do with policies. We turn away from the president. We turn away from our leaders, homie, and we come where we know. Our nephews, our uncles, our mamas, our sisters, our baby mamas. Women we done had children with that we can't get along with. That's where it started. It started the motherfucker you see in the mirror. What you don't feel good about you with. That's where it started. And then turn around and look in your household. And tell your woman something. Tell your kids something. But if you ain't started in the mirror, man, don't say nothing to nobody. But man, this is what I'm saying. We can't keep saying we fought for something. And man, I ain't read now history book. Yet a Haitian stood up.